Today we are visiting Bronllys Castle.
In around 1144, Walter de Clifford, an Anglo-Norman marcher lord, founded a fortress on the banks of Afon Llanvi, a tributary of the River Wye.
All that remains of what was once a Motte and Baily with a round stone keep and separate hall are the impressive motte and the 80-foot tall keep.
Everything else is gone. The keep has 3 floors, all of which are still accessible, although the floors themselves have long since rotted away.
The 3rd floor was a later, more lavish addition, complete with latrine.
Over the years, the castle passed from the Cliffords to the Giffords to the de Bohun Earls of Hereford, and eventually, in 1399, to King Henry IV.
In the early 15th century, the fortifications were improved to withstand the forces of Owen Glendower.
By 1521, however, the castle was considered beyond repair after a century of neglect.
I'm standing in front of the motte and you can just see some stone poking out the bottom of it that looks quite hefty, so I should imagine there's quite a bit of stone in it as well. And on top of it is a tower, and you can go round the outside on a spiral staircase. There really aren't very many mottes that still have stuff on them. There was a castle next to it, but that's no longer there. I'm going to go and climb it now. The views from up here are really lovely. You've got all the nice autumnal trees in the background, and you've got a view over the river, and it's quite peaceful from up here actually as well. You can just hear the babbling of the river over the road. I think of all the mottes I've been, this is definitely my favourite, and this is the perfect day to see it because it's just absolutely, even though it's grey and overcast, it's kind of made it because it's just kind of misty and ethereal. I like it anyway.
I'm at the top of the motte, and this is still pretty high, not taking into account the fact that you can go into the tower and get higher still. You've got a pretty good view across the countryside if you were to get rid of the trees that are in the way, so as a defensive point it's fantastic. You really can see what's out there. The other advantage of this is that you can be seen from a long way off, so people can go, oh, I'm not going anywhere near there because there's a thing with probably people with bows and arrows and that sort of stuff. So it's a good defence and it's a good deterrent. Come into the tower, and this is the first floor you come into, which I suppose you might think of as the ground floor, even though you've come up the motte. Below us there's a basement, but you can't go into that because that's a hibernaculum for bats, and well, it's all cordoned off so you can't get in there, which is good because the bats don't want to be disturbed. Now, this would be kind of an antechamber, a place that you would come and wait to be taken upstairs to the nice bits where the fireplaces are, and it's a bit more luxurious. So let's head up now. That is the ground floor down there. That makes this the first floor, and what they've very cleverly done to deal with the fact that the floor that was originally in here is rotted away centuries ago probably, they've put in a nice little platform so that you can have a look not only at what this floor would have looked like level-wise, but you could also see the lack of floor in the rest of it, and you can look out of a window over there and see just what people would have been able to see from here back in the day. We visit quite a few of these places that have got towers, and most of them you can't go into. So the fact that you can go into this one is really exciting.
Bit of an oddity, this place. Motte, defensive position. Tower, defensive position. These windows, not so much. I mean, you had a window at either side so you could go and have a look, and you've got windows on every level, but they're not exactly what you'd call archer slit defensible type things. They're more, oh look, you're very pretty. What I actually suspect happened is that they must have had some archer slits here and then they've expanded them to make nicer, prettier windows as the defensiveness was no longer needed. The stairs inside the tower are very narrow, but they're not so slippery. You can go right to the top here, and that's quite exciting because the views here are stunning. Not to sound a bit too window obsessed here, but they did like a nice window seat because look at that. You can plonk yourself here, and I'm not going to because there's bird poop all over the place. and look out at that view, and that tree wouldn't have been in the way, and it would have been lovely. Whoa.
We were promised fantastic views at the top, and that's what it's delivered. I mean, it's a misty day, and yet you can see the mountains in the distance. It's just stunning. Imagine, because that's all I can offer you, imagine what it would look like on a beautiful, clear, sunny day, middle of summer. Green trees, the whole 9 yards. I quite want a tower now to live in. I mean, the stairs would keep you fit, and you get a great view. I'm not seeing a downside here.